You had a sense of wanting that you were going to be something and be somebody, and this was your way.
Yeah, I think I had to be. I had to have that sense. I had to have it as a writer. I'm thinking off the top of my head here, because I was not going to make it in other ways. You know, Nelson Algren once said, a question asked me, why are you a writer? And he said, because I couldn't be anything else. You know, I tried cab driving. I tried working on the railroad. You know, I didn't even get a job most of that time. I was evicted from, fired from every job I had, and then evicted from every place I lived. So eventually, I guess in '72, I moved to Colorado. I finally had to buy the place because I couldn't move anymore. There was just too much. It was like a piss ad. And, you know, I began to kind of call in the letters. My mother had some. Bill Kennedy had some.
He does the foreword to this book.
Yeah, yeah. We'll talk about his wine drinking later on.
All right, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But you had the copies, and you kept them, in that trunk.
Trunks.
Trunks, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Trunks.
Oh, boy.
Why did you keep them?
I'm trying to think. I guess because as sort of a breaking-in journalist at that time, I was taught, and I have since taught, that what you want to do is keep copies of your stories and your bylines. You know, that's your passport for your next job. And I guess that I figured that, what the hell, I'm going to keep copies of the stories, I may as well keep the letters.
We can know more about about Hunter Thompson from these letters than anything that he has written outside of letters or anything he's done in his life.
Yeah, you try having every page of your life. For every one letter in here, there are 12 or 15 cut out. But I had to listen to these things for a year with the editor, Doug Brinkley, and my son and his wife parading these things in front of me. So I'd say, well, how about this one, Hunter? Calm down. You know. And then who is this and who is that? So I had to rank my memories. And yeah, it was like, this is your life in spades.
As you went back and reviewed them.
Had to, you know.
And the correspondence.
Yeah, these were real. I've never even looked at these things until they came out of the basement, like some kind of a genie, you know, that was down there.
Writing was the only thing that you knew you could do that satisfied you.
Well, that I could get paid for it.
They didn't pay for the other
Yeah,
stuff.
and then when I learned about newspaper work, I learned that you to work for a morning paper, you can work late at night. You know, you can work at 2 o'clock, and you know, get off at midnight or so. Once you learn that, I can't imagine going back. I went to I did a afternoon paper after I got out of the Air Force. Jesus Christ, I didn't know the difference. And I suddenly had to go to work at 7 in the morning, and I didn't last long at that.
Yeah. Did you create a persona that you thought would serve you?
Serve me?
That was you.
I'm afraid if I created it and then, you know, crafted it and made it, no, that's giving me too much credit. Being a hillbilly, you know, a lazy person, basically. I had to stick with whatever it was. I just documented it. Now, why?
You just documented what you were.
Well, but by doing a logical thing, like keeping letters, yeah, I did have a sense, and it's clear in this book, that I was going to be a writer. And if the reason was, well, I can't do anything else, well, so be it. You know, you try to go out and get a job now as a stockbroker, going through personnel agencies, you know, selling used cars. Before I did the Hells Angels book, I found myself lining up at 4:30 in the morning in San Francisco, down on Howard Street, with winos, literally,
Yeah.
to be selected. I mean, I was lining up for the selection process to be picked out as those worthy to be allowed to deliver Safeway, handbills all around the neighborhood, in every household.
You were lined up to be considered
And I was
worthy to do
rejected. I was rejected.
that. Why? You didn't measure up.
Politically, right, I didn't measure up, And I thought, what the hell? People, being hauled forward, helped forward into the truck, and then luckily,
Yes.
yeah, I knew that, and that wasn't going to work. I couldn't get a job as a cab driver because I hadn't been there long enough as a registered voter.
Yeah.
Oh, I tried every conceivable thing. The newspapers wouldn't hire me.